Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Pinky Science Academy, Form 2 Revision Questions and Answers. The first question, you're asked, define the term growth. Growth is defined as the irreversible increase in size and mass of an organism. Name the tissue in plant that is responsible for primary growth and also for secondary growth. For primary growth, the tissue responsible is the apical meristem. Basically, it helps the plant to grow upwards and downwards in the shoot and also in the root. Then secondary growth, its increase in diameter, which is the cambium meristem, is involved. The next question, you're asked that you're given a potato cylinder were carefully divided on a blotting paper and weighed. Each piece weighed 2 grams. One was placed in each test as shown in this diagram. So here you have a diagram. You have a potato cylinder, this one, that is immersed in distilled water. And here you also have another one, a potato cylinder that is immersed in 20% sucrose solution. Then you're asked after 48 hours, which potato cylinder will be heavier? So here, what you look at is it gaining water or it's not gaining water or it's losing, in short. And what you should know is that the potato cylinder that is immersed in distilled water, which is a region of high water potential, it will gain water by osmosis and therefore it will increase in mass and also in size. Then, the potato cylinder that is immersed in 20% sucrose solution, that one will lose water by osmosis because this potato cylinder will act as a region of high water potential. Then the surrounding sugar solution will act as a region of low water potential. And with that, it will lose water and become smaller in size. So after 48 hours, you're asked which potato cylinder will be heavier. Of course, the first potato cylinder, this one, because water molecules will enter into the potato cylinder by osmosis. I think I have explained why the second one will not be bigger. Then you given another question. You name the substance whose movement was responsible for the weight changes in the potato cylinder you identified above. The substance that whose movement, that is water molecules. It's the water molecules moving to make the potato cylinder either heavier or lighter. Then name the process by which was responsible for the movement. Of course, I have discussed it. It's osmosis, because for water movement from a region of high water potential to a region of low water potential, it's basically osmosis involved. The next question you asked, why are the following steps taken when preparing a cross-section of a leaf for viewing under a microscope? Cutting thin section. So you normally cut thin section of whatever that you want to view under a microscope to allow sunlight, not sunlight, but to allow light to pass through it, making it easy to observe the tissue. Placing the section in water, that is to maintain turgidity, so that those tissues remain, or the cells remain turgid, and therefore the shape is retained and it prevents drying. Next question, you're given below is a formula of a mammal. Here it is, the dental formula of a mammal. And this mammal has incisors, 0 incisors on the upper jaw, 4 incisors on the lower jaw, 0 canine either on either jaws. Then premolars are 3, and molars are 2, 3. And you're asked what is the number of teeth. This one represents half of the mouth of a person or of that mammal. It's half of the mouth. So whatever number that you will get, you just multiply by 2 to represent the upper jaw and the lower jaw. So you will get this is 0, 0, 3. This is 5 on the upper jaw, and then you have 7, 10 on the lower jaw. Those are 15 teeth. You multiply by 2, you get 30. So the number of teeth of that animal is 30. Then you're asked, what is the mode of feeding in the animal above? It's simply a herbivore or herbivorous because it lacks the incisors and also canine. The figure below shows a structure that is used in gaseous cells, and this one represents the tracheal system of insects. You can see here there are some strings, and then you can see this one has like C-shaped openings. Those are called spiral bands that keeps the tracheal system, the tracheae, open. So you asked, what do guard cells lie in close contact? I think the question should be, why do guard cells lie in close contact with the epidermal cells? And that is to be able to draw water from the neighboring epidermal cells and therefore regulating the opening and closing of stomata. Then you're asked to identify the structure, that is the tracheal system of insects. Explain observable texture on the figure that adapts it to its function. You can see very well that there are spiral bands there, and those spiral bands, they are normally made of chitin, and they normally prevent the tracheae from collapsing, so that there is efficient supply of air in and out of the tracheal system. So those ones are made of chitin. And then you're given another question. You're told that the diagram below shows an organ of gas exchange organ, and the organ is here. So you can see very well it has these teeth-like structures, it has this bar, and then it has this other filamentous thing. So this is a gill, and it is responsible for gas exchange in fish. These teeth-like structures, they are responsible for trapping dust and other solid substances to prevent them from getting into the gill filaments. This is a gill bar that holds the gill filament, and this one's the gill raker. So the name of that organ is the gill. State 2 ways in which the structure labeled X is adapted for gas exchange. Structure labeled X is this one. This one, I have said they are the gill filaments, and any adaptation of a gas exchange surface is related to this one or qualifies to be an adaptation. Like one, it is highly folded to provide a large surface area for gaseous exchange. That is one. You can also say it has a rich supply of blood capillaries for gas exchange. You can also say that it is thin for easier diffusion of the respiratory gases. You can also say it has a large supply of blood capillaries to transport the respiratory gases. Number 7, you given a question. You asked, why does carboxyhaemoglobin lead to death? Carboxyhaemoglobin is a combination of carbon 2 oxide and hemoglobin. So carbon 2 oxide plus hemoglobin forms carboxyhaemoglobin, and when it reaches the tissues, it does not dissociate, or it does not break into carbon 2 oxide and hemoglobin, so that hemoglobin can go on transporting oxygen. So that makes transport of oxygen very inefficient, and that makes it poisonous because it does not leave the hemoglobin, and when you breathe it over a length of time, you get suffocated, and that is how you die. So it reduces the oxygen carrying capacity of the hemoglobin. In real cases where oxygen is transported, there is combination of hemoglobin and oxygen, so that it forms oxyhemoglobin. And when oxyhemoglobin reaches to the tissues, it breaks down into hemoglobin and oxygen. And then here you have another question. Name the cell structures that synthesize the following cell organelles. This is a cell organelle that is called rhizosome. It is responsible for lysis or breakdown of large and of unwanted cell organelles, as well even as the cell itself. So rhizosomes, they are synthesized by the Golgi bodies. And then ribosomes, these ones act as site for protein synthesis, and they are synthesized by the nucleolus. So this one for ribosome, it's a very, very common question, even in KCSE paper 1s. The next question you asked, what is the importance of stroma in the chloroplast? Stroma, this is supposed to be stroma. R is omitted. Stroma, it provides volume around the different structures inside the chloroplast for protection, and it is also where the light-independent reactions of photosynthesis take place. That is the dark stage, in short, where there is combination of carbon dioxide and hydrogen ions from the light stage of photosynthesis, as well as energy to form now a simple sugar or a simple carbohydrate. The next question, you are told you state 3 adaptations that enable prey to evade predators. A prey is an organism that is fed by a predator. For example, a gazelle and a lion. A gazelle could be a prey and a lion the predator. Adaptations of those organisms: camouflage. Camouflage is how they change their color to look the same as. State 3 adaptations that enable the prey to evade predators. Camouflage is when they have the same color as the surrounding environment, maybe the grass or maybe the vegetation, so they hide. And then they have highly developed senses to be able to evade predators, and they sense them from a distance. Then they stay out of sight. In short, they hide so that they can run away. The predator does not see them. Then the next question, study the diagram below and answer the questions that follow. Here is a diagram of the circulatory system, the heart, and then it has a blood vessels, and then you are told there to name the blood vessels labeled A and E. The blood vessels that take blood away from the heart, that is A. No, that is our aorta. Then the blood vessel that brings blood to the heart, it's vena cava, and that's how you get vena cava and aorta. Then you are asked, state 2 differences between blood vessels B and D. Blood vessels B and D. Now, okay, so aorta, of course, it supplies blood to an artery. And then E, because it's a vein, it receives blood from another vein. And here you're supposed to conclude that B, it carries blood that is oxygenated because it's an artery, while D carries blood that is deoxygenated. B carries blood under high pressure, it's an artery, while D carries blood under low pressure as it has valves. Then state 2 adaptations of blood vessels labeled C to its function. Blood vessel labeled C, it's a vein. It has valves that prevent backflow of blood, and then it has thinner walls and larger lumen to prevent backflow of blood. And name 3 factors affecting the rate of breathing in human. How fast or how slow we breathe, depending on 1, exercise. When you are involved in vigorous activity, you end up breathing deeper and faster. Age, when you are young, you breathe in faster. Emotions, when you are angry or when you are anxious, you breathe in faster, or your rate of breathing is faster. And then also temperature. When the temperatures are too high, I think you end up breathing at a lower pace. Excuse me. Define the following terms as used in gaseous exchange. Tidal volume is a small volume of air that is taken in and out of the lungs during normal breathing. Residual volume is the air that normally remains in the lungs. Then you are told to draw a well-labeled diagram of the guard cell. So the guard cell looks like that. Here it's the stoma, here is one guard cell, and here it's another guard cell. Remember, guard cells are bean-like structures, or they have bean-like shape. They have the thin outer wall, they have chloroplast, they have nucleus, they have thicker inner walls, and they also have the vacuole. Number 14, you're asked to state 3 properties of lipids. Lipids, they are the fats and oils. Fats are the solid ones, oils are the liquid one, and they readily dissolve in inorganic solvents such as alcohol, forming emulsions, but they are insoluble in water, of course. But they are insoluble in water, but they dissolve in organic solvents, and they are quite inert. Inert means that they are unreactive, and that is why they are stored in the body under the skin. The diagram below represents a cross-section obtained from a plant. Use it to answer the question that follow. From which part of the plant was the section obtained from? It is clear, and it's very clear, that that is a dicotyledonous root, because B, which is the xylem, is star in shape, and it's surrounded by the phloem on its arms. The reason is because it has a star-shaped xylem. Name part B, that's xylem, and name the material that strengthened the part you named above. Xylem is strengthened by lignin. We say they are lignified. So lignin is a polysaccharide that makes the xylem vessels become firm. Name the conditions under which urine production increases in animals. Urine production increases when there is increase in environmental temperature. When the temperatures go high, urine production is low, but when the temperatures decrease, especially when it's raining, you find, or when the weather is just cold, there is increase in production of urine. When you take a lot of fluids, for example, when you're taking a lot of water, or maybe other drinks, or even porridge, you find yourself urinating more, and then the increase in caffeine intake also contributes to that. What is diabetes insipidus? It's a condition that is characterized by passing out of large quantities of dilute urine. Explain the structure of the skin to its function. The skin is the largest body organ. That means it covers the whole body surface. It is composed of 2 layers. The upper layer, which is known as the upper epidermis or epidermis, and the inner layer that is called dermis. The epidermis is made up of 3 layers that are namely the conified layer, the granular layer, and the malpighian layer. Conified layer is the outermost layer of the epidermis, and it is made of dead cells, or cells that are become filled with a tough, flexible substance that is called keratin. It also provides a protection against mechanical damage and invasion of microorganisms, but that is when the skin is not broken. Then you have the granular layer. It's the middle of the epidermis, and it consists of living cells, and these cells, they give rise to the conified layer when they die. Malpighian layer, it's the innermost of the epidermal layer, and it is made up of actively dividing cells. It has pigments that are called melanin that gives skin color. That's why you have some people have dark skin. And also it functions in protection of our body against harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun. Then you have the dermis, which is the inner part of the skin. It is thicker, of course, than the epidermis. You also have the blood vessels that transport blood to the skin, and then the sweat glands that produce sweat, hair that plays a role in regulation of body temperature. That it's when it's hot, they lie flat to allow air currents to pass. When it's cold, they stand erect, trapping a layer of air in between them. Then we have the sebaceous glands that produce sebum that keeps the skin supple. Next question, you are asked, what is photosynthesis? We define photosynthesis as the process by which plants make their own food using simple inorganic substances such as sunlight and chlorophyll in presence using carbon dioxide and water in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. 3 factors affecting the rate of photosynthesis. Light intensity. When light intensity increases, the rate of photosynthesis increases. Carbon dioxide concentration. Increase in carbon dioxide concentration increases the rate of photosynthesis. Temperature. A temperature increase increases the rate of photosynthesis up to optimum. Remember, photosynthesis is an enzyme-controlled process, and too high temperatures will denature the enzymes. Explain the economic importance of the plant excretory products like caffeine. It is stored in coffee berries and tea leaves, and it is taken as a mild stimulant, so it increases the mental activity and reduces fatigue. Quinine, it's a waste product that is stored in the bark of cinchona trees and aloe vera leaves. It is used in treatment of malaria. Cannabis, it is stored in fruits, flowers, leaves of cannabis sativa, and it is used in manufacture of drugs. Nicotine is found in leaves of tobacco plant, and it's used in manufacture of insecticides and narcotic drugs. And then we have rubber. Rubber is used in making of latex from rubber plant. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Bye.